Welcome to episode 2 of Forkin' Amazing. In this episode, we're going to be cooking my version of the Middle Eastern favourite, falafel. To make our falafel mix, we're going to use dried chickpeas which have been soaking in cold water overnight. We're going to drain the excess water and add the chickpeas to a blender ready to be blitzed for the falafel mix. We're looking for a texture somewhere between wet sand and couscous. Add half a diced onion and process the mixture once again. Add this to the rest of the chickpeas and grate in 1 clove of garlic. Then add 1 teaspoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley and coriander. We're going to use whole spices as they guarantee the best delivery of flavour. So we're going to toast lightly some coriander seeds, cumin seeds and cardamom pods. We're looking to toast the spices until they have a lovely golden colour and release their aromatics. Add to a coffee grinder or a mortar and pestle and blitz into a powder. These freshly ground spices really do take the flavour to the next level. Mix the ingredients and add a squeeze of fresh lemon juice, 1/4 cup of water and sprinkle over a mixture of gram flour and baking powder to get the lightest falafel possible. Next up, we're going to prepare our baba ganoush. To get a nice smoky flavour in our aubergines, we're going to char before we roast in the oven. The best way to do this is to cook over fire, but it's raining outside so I'm going to use a blowtorch. Once they're charred, we're going to put them in the oven to roast for 30 minutes. For a good baba ganoush, we don't want too much moisture, so we're going to cut open the aubergines to allow the steam to escape. Flip the aubergines over on a cooling rack and give them 5 minutes to drain away this excess. Finally grate a clove of garlic over the aubergines and rub them in just so that we're cooking off that raw garlic flavour. I prefer baba ganoush with a bit of texture, so I'm just going to scrape away the flesh with a spoon and mix through the other ingredients rather than blitzing into a puree. Try to avoid scraping too much of the skin in with the flesh. Season with salt, a pinch of sugar and a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. Add a couple of spoons of tahini and a generous drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. Mix everything until well combined and garnish with some nice smoked paprika. Next up, we're going to make hummus. To a can of cooked chickpeas, I'm adding cumin, salt, another generous drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, tahini and lemon juice. Finally grate in 1 clove of garlic and blitz the whole lot into a puree. You can do this for a couple of minutes to get a really smooth hummus, but personally I like to hold back after just a minute or so. Finish the hummus with a final drizzle of olive oil and we're ready to move on to the next step. No falafel wrap is complete without a salad, so we're going to combine cherry tomatoes, red onion and cucumber. First of all, quarter the cherry tomatoes. Next, to prepare the cucumber, we're going to cut into a manageable piece, cut lengthways into half, then into quarters, and then slice. To prepare the red onion, peel away the skin and top and tail. We're going to slice this as thinly as we possibly can. This salad works great with fresh herbs, so we're going to add some chopped parsley, chopped coriander, and pick a generous bunch of mint leaves to be sliced finely. Add to the salad, then finish with a squeeze of lemon juice, a drizzle of olive oil, and mix thoroughly. Finally, add a sprinkle of salt and we're ready to move on to our bread. Using a dough hook, we're going to mix flour, salt, and yeast, and mix until the ingredients are combined. At this stage, I'd go with a slow speed or you'll end up with flour all over the kitchen. Add warm water, warm milk, and again mix on a low speed until the ingredients come together. Now that our dough is starting to come together, we're going to add olive oil and mix again until smooth. We can now remove the hook from the machine, cover the dough with a little olive oil, and wait for an hour for the dough to rise. Turn out the dough and sprinkle liberally with flour. We're going to divide the dough by first cutting in half and then by cutting each half into 3 portions. Again, sprinkle with a little extra flour so that we're ready to form our dough balls. Using your hands, shape each portion just to make things easier when we're rolling out our dough. By now, the yeast is fully activated and the dough is beautifully light. We're going to roll out the dough in one direction, turn 90 degrees, and then repeat the process. It's best to roll in one direction so you don't misshape the dough. Keep rolling until a couple of millimeters thick and it's the size you want your flatbread to be. To cook the bread, heat up a pan and toss the dough in. We're going to cook the bread until we start to see some bubbles blister up on the surface. This is how we know it's time to flip the bread and cook the other side. Drizzle over some olive oil and brush over evenly. Finish with a pinch of sea salt and we're ready to move on to the star of the show. I'm using an ice cream scoop to shape the falafel ready for frying. I find that heating the oil to around 175 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit works best. Keep turning over the falafel as you're frying, just to make sure you get a nice colour all over. Once the falafel are cooked, remove with a slotted spoon and drain on some kitchen paper. We're looking for a super crunchy exterior and a light fluffy centre. To assemble our wrap, we'll start with a layer of hummus, leaving a gap at the end to tuck. Spoon on some baba ganoush and add on a few of the falafel. I like to squash them just to make wrapping later a bit easier. Next, top with some chopped salad. I love the freshness of this salad, so I really like to load up the wrap with this. Top with some pickled turnips and one more falafel for good luck. For the full recipe, check the description below or head over to the website. Please hit that subscribe button and see you next time.